Question.
I gotta ask a question, right?
Yeah.
Now, the question that I want to ask you, I'm sure is on a lot of people's minds, okay? Because we saw you fence in New York City at that tournament, right? And it was a nail biter because, as you know, that last match against the Russian, right?
Hungarian?
Right.
Yeah.
Or the Hungarian.
Whatever.
Right? It was very, very tight. And my question to you is, as a fencer now, how did you feel about that last match? Because it was pretty close, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how did you get over it, and how did you feel that you got over, that you won?
Yeah. Well, just as in life and in your fencing career and your job and everything, there's always going to be ups and downs. And again, that's something that Ed's really good at kind of monitoring and paying attention to and understanding. And even though I won in New York, I feel like I wasn't really on the rise. I wasn't at the top. I was kind of somewhere in the middle. And fencing that bout, and especially looking back at that whole video, all my videos of my bouts of that competition, I was not fencing
It was like 14,
my best.
14 or
It
something,
was like
right?
15, 13.
15, 13. That was tight.
And even even if it's a close bout, sometimes you feel like you still have control. It's not like, sometimes you have to make a comeback if you're down, and sometimes you might feel like you win by the skin of your teeth, but even in some close bouts, you still feel like, I got this. You still feel like, okay, I'm just going to finish it out. I still have control. I still am on top. And my other bout, 2 rounds before that against the Italian girl, was kind of the same way. I think I was down. I was down like 13-12 or something like that, and came back and won 15-13. And it's kind of a point where you're just like, all right, I just need to sit down. Just don't even you kind of just close your. You don't close your eyes, but you just kind of like, all right. I just need to finish this. It's getting too close. I don't like where this is going. I just need to finish the bout and score the last 2 points. And that's kind of how it was. That wasn't my best bout by far, but I always know that I can just turn around, and at the end of the strip, Ed will be right there, and I can look at him, and we kind of just have this, ESP type thing, where he's just like, what are you doing? Just finish the bout, and that's kind of what I did in that last bout. So it was close, a little too close for comfort, I agree, but still won.
So. You didn't cheer for her very good.
I cheered.
There's a lot of bouts that are very close, but I would assure you on this, we're doing a lot of videos on this level, international level, so we practically know all fencers who are on the top. So Mariel is prepared, going on the speed. She's not. These fencers can surprise me. Fencers can surprise me. But she was already making some mistakes, tactical mistakes. But she finally overcame.
Yeah. The point is to make fewer mistakes than you do not the right action, doing the right action. So that's kind of obvious, but if you think about it, it's like you can afford to. You're not going to win every bout 15-2. You have to afford to give up a couple touches, but the important thing is that you stay in control and you stay on top of the score and don't let it get too close. And just finish it off when you can. So. Yeah.
You brought up video analysis, and we're starting to do that in our club now, and I'm just curious if you could share with us 1 or 2 things that you look for on video, or that you use video for, that might help us in our process.
So this is generally styles, because different nations fencing different way. So the way we've done this, we had the data from the World Championship, from the Olympic Games, and practically we always use the data from last year or from World Cups, Grand Prix, what we have. And then we analyze the fences, how they fence, how they prepare, do preparation. And then you can win a lot of touches using opponent's preparation and having plan against them. So this is tomorrow we will show you stuff how to use the certain preparation on the certain fences. The habitat preparation, for example, we know what to do with these fences. So she gets a couple touches, and then give confidence in the bout, right?
Yeah, and video can also be useful not only for setting your opponents, but also if you fence a horrible bout and then go over it with your coach and he's like, that's a mistake, there's where you went wrong. And then you see it and you see yourself actually doing something that, like, wrong, it's a mistake in the bout, so that then you know, can kind of understand it more instead of just after the bout, maybe he says, you did this and this wrong, and I'd be like, yeah, okay, I guess I did, but actually looking at the video and analyzing yourself and seeing in front of your face what you did wrong helps you kind of understand and learn from those mistakes better, and then learn not to do those things as often.
So before Olympic Games, you know, we had a lot of session, Portland and somewhere else, and then I try to teach fencers how to read the fences, how to put a lot of notes about all fences from the different nations, French, Italian, Russian, Ukrainian. So they were analyzing it pretty closely. So, and then we did this way that one fences, for example, practicing the pair. So one fences or Chinese, one was the Chinese fencer, and one was American actually. The person had to do a preparation the way Chinese doing, and then the other fencers had to fence against it, and we changed the rules. So they felt how they doing, and then what to do against them. And we did, you know, for them. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And also for things like the Olympics and stuff, you know who you're gonna. They don't have pools, they don't have preliminaries, right. So you know who you're gonna fence and potentially fence for the entire tournament. So you can use video to analyze that person before you even fence them, which is a big advantage. So.
Well, thank you very much anyway.
Thank you.
Before we leave, just tomorrow, anybody have any question about like what's going on? John, do you have anything?
No, tomorrow.